Awesome. Thanks for joining. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with Doug. Your line's open. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win. What was the difference tonight? What led to this difference tonight compared to the previous game?
I think from the start of the game, there was a stronger focus. I think it looked like there was a bigger determination not to lose a goal, and obviously we bore the fruits of that early in the game. And from there, instead of finding ourselves down, we found ourselves up, and I think the team grew in confidence from it, and then built on it throughout the night. And I think they thoroughly deserved everything they got, the players.
Next question, Felipe. Felipe, go ahead. Your line's open.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening, Stephen. Congrats on the 3 points. Could you explain what happened with the referee and perhaps why you were so adamant? We couldn't hear everything that you were saying, but did it have anything to do with perhaps FIFA rules that if an ineligible player is on the field, that team needs to forfeit? What was your argument and what was said?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't want to focus too much on what happened with that. But I think they fielded an ineligible player. But it is what it is. And to be honest, I'd rather just move on. I think in the heat of the moment, you push for your team. And I was thinking Wednesday night and all that stuff coming up. But I think it was better for the players to play. I think everybody wants to play. And I'd rather just focus on the team performance.
Next question is going to be Joe. As a quick reminder, you need to hit the raise hand icon in order to ask a question. But Joe, go ahead. Your line's open.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win tonight. Can you talk about the progression you've seen from John Gallagher over these last several weeks? And maybe I'm just curious as to what you think is maybe responsible for this the great form that he's been in as of late.
I think John's responding to playing a number of games in a row. I think he's getting a little bit of consistency. He looks to me like he believes in himself a little bit more. I think he knows there's a coaching staff that believes in him. He's found his way into the team through hard work, and at the moment he's keeping himself there through the same thing, and his quality is coming up. And I think even his second goal, especially, the first one's a great finish, and the second one, he looked like an assured player there when he sticks it in the net, which is great to see. The growth in him's been fantastic. And it's hard to put your finger on exactly what it would be, but I think the main thing is that he's worked hard and he's enjoying that at the minute.
Next question, back to Doug. Doug, go ahead. Your line's open.
It's kind of a similar question, but about Brooks Lennon. He's put in, I think, throughout the season, several good crosses. No one's been able to finish them, and tonight they were able to. If you could talk about his development a little bit. And also, was that second goal by Gallagher, one of the prettier ones you've ever seen?
It is recently, for definite. It's one of the few ones I've seen recently. But Brooks has been great. There's a few guys we've asked to play a number of different positions. He's played right back, he's played wide right, and I think he's done really well at both of them. Obviously, his attributes from either is that he can deliver a great ball. And I think Adam's movement for the goal that he scored was great as well. Obviously, Brooks has cut in on his left foot for a goal himself, which is great. And I just think he's similar to John in a way. I think he's a bit of a confidence player. And I'm just hoping all the players grow from the performance they put in tonight and the reward they got from the focused performance that they did put in.
Next question will go to Allison. Allison, your line's open. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, this season, 4 goals were the most that you guys have scored this year. How can this help the confidence moving forward in the last remaining games as you're trying to solidify your spot in the playoffs?
Well, I think it's important that we build on it. Obviously, we've won games in isolation, but I think it's important that we build on this performance. And I think you saw a group that was quite assured tonight. They believed in what they were doing. They were very focused. I think the work rate off the ball contributed greatly to the performance on it. And I think there was a greater concentration level on it. We were ready to react if we lost it. And I just think it's important that we do build on it. It's hard to say that it's definitely going to happen, but I think because we've thought like we're there before. But I do, the way that the group performed tonight, I think they like the feeling that they're getting in there right now, and I'm sure they want more of that.
Next question over to Jarrett Smith. Jarrett, go ahead. Your line's open. Jarrett, can you hear us? Your line's open, but you might be muted on your end.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, Glassy, the midfield changed up a bit tonight. We saw Mo Adams jump into the midfield after missing a couple games, and looked like he had a pretty good night. What have you been seeing from him in training, and then what you saw with him last year with the twos that gives you the confidence to throw him out there and know he's just going to do what he did tonight?
Yeah, I think Mo's been great in training. He's obviously had to wait his turn, and his performance level in training has pushed us to put him in, so that's been good. And then in terms of what I saw last year, sometimes when you're with a second team and the first team player comes down, the attitudes can not be perfect. But every time that we had Mo last year, he was fantastic and he helped the younger players. And I think he came in tonight. He looked composed on the ball. He worked very well off it, prevented them playing a lot. And I think he's ready to contribute a lot for the rest of the season, along with the rest of the group and the players that didn't play as well. I think we've got a good, strong group, and I think it's important that the group is recognised tonight as well, because there's a lot of players that have not played a lot of minutes that came on tonight and contributed greatly to the win.
Next question back to Joe. Joe, go ahead. Your line is open.
Hey, a boring question here, but the nerd inside of me needs to know. So Miles Robinson has basically played as a right-sided center back pretty much his whole career, and I noticed the last few games he's played, he's been on the left side. So I'm just kind of curious as to why you decided to make that move, whether it is helpful for him or if it maybe puts Walks or Meza in a better position on the right side.
I think quite straightforward. A boring answer to a simple question. Like you said, it was a simple question. So it made Anton a little bit more comfortable, I think, on the right-hand side. And Miles is very capable of playing either side, and I think he's the one that's more comfortable moving. So that was just the reason for that. Nothing tactically genius or anything going on there.
Last two, Felipe, then Doug. Felipe, your line's open. Go ahead.
Steven, so I think you will agree that we've kind of been here before, right? A strong performance that is then followed up by not the same level of performance. And now on Wednesday, like you mentioned, you're preparing for a pretty big match against Orlando, who has not lost a game in 9 matches. So what needs to happen? And were some of the rotations in the starting 11 tonight, was that looking forward to the game on Wednesday?
I'd say, so the first part of your question, we need to learn the lessons from the previous games that we played against Orlando. The last time we played them down there, we put up a good fight, a really good second half performance, and won the second half 1-0, I think. I can't remember, to be honest, but we came back and got our point, which was great. But they've probably been better than us in the games that we've played them. We've had opportunities to score goals and get in amongst it, but we've not really taken them, and we've been punished quite severely by them, which they've done to a number of teams. So we need to learn the lessons from the games that we've played. The team selection tonight was not with an eye on Wednesday. It was based on winning the game tonight. We're not at the stage that we can start protecting guys. I think later in the game you saw us protecting guys that were on yellows, which was important, because it looked like a poor decision tackling or pulling someone back could easily seen one or two of the lads receive a red card. So we were careful of that late on in the game. That was the only thing that we did tonight with an eye on Wednesday.
And last one for Coach. Back to Doug. Doug, your line's open. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2 questions real quick, Coach. Hyman, the past 2 games, looks like he's really trying to do a lot of one-touch play to keep the ball moving quickly, which I know is something you've been looking for. I just want to make sure that is the purpose behind it. And team supporters are asking about Barco and if he is a part of the team's plans for the remainder of the season. So do you anticipate him playing for the team at some point between now and the end of the season?
So the first question, Emerson, we know Emerson's quality when he plays higher in the midfield. He's a clever footballer. I think when you see him confident, you see him start playing more one-touch things, you see him driving with the ball a little bit more, not coming quite so deep to receive it. So I think you saw a lot of that from Emerson tonight. In terms of Barco, 100%, I see him playing for the team for the rest of the year. I think on Thursday we did the press conference and I said there were 3 of the 4 players that were potentially available. So Rossetto was the one that was not potentially available. the two other lads, we had Miles Robinson played tonight. Jurgen came on the pitch tonight, and Ezekiel's been training. He is day to day. He's obviously, I don't want to divulge what his injury is, but he's been carrying an injury that he's able to train. He's still been feeling things. He's had a couple of setbacks, so there is nothing sinister going on with him. I've seen the suggestions. I've seen the suggestions that I'm not quite being honest that he's training. He is 100% training. I seen an article the other day saying alleged injuries. He has an injury, so that's the simple facts. So I am not being misleading in any way. The club is not being misleading in any way. He wants to play. We want him to play, and he will play a part later on in the season. And I don't know when. Hopefully, very soon.
Thanks, Glassie, and congrats on the 3 points.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll have John Gallagher coming up here in just a second.